your girl is traveling again. No, I'm just joking. I'm actually, well, I'm not just joking. My friend Sophia and her husband Imad, well, they're married now, invited me to LakeComo for their wedding. So how do I know Sophia? Sophia is a very good friend of mine. She is the creative director and the MD of Sof Wellness, which is like a health, I would say it's a health facility, but it's so much more than that. It's teaching you about mind, body, and soul, and just basically how to be your best self. Sof Wellness is run by her and her sister, which is awesome. And basically, it's about holistic healing through food, mental well-being, self-care, movement, and faith. And, you know, I'm here for it. And this is one of the reasons Sophie and I click and we get it, because she just vibes on another vibration. Inside joke, Sophie. But yes, I'm excited and we are off to Italy. Woohoo! So, you know, planning for this trip, it's one of my first trips that have so many events. I think the last time I had something was like when I went to Ghana. So, you know, planning this trip to LakeComo, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going for an Indian wedding. I have to slay. So, you know, I need to go shopping. So the first step was I had to go shopping in my closet because I was not buying clothes unless I really had to. And then whatever I found, I brought to Mr. Ike to help me do some adjustments. And also I commissioned the Body Politics studio to make some of our bling boo-boos to wear for the Nikai ceremony. The next step was for me to sort out my makeup. I know you're thinking, what about hair? Well, I own a wig company, so it's easy to kind of get that part down packed. But what I was concerned about was doing my makeup while I was away. I'm used to getting my makeup done for special events. And now not only did I have to call Quick Glitz, Abiola, my makeup artist, to come in and show me everything, I had to think about changing my makeup and changing my looks, you know, for each event, and there were 6 different events. So Abiola came into the studio and we did another tutorial. So I'm still learning my makeup, but I'm getting better each time.
Yes. So just
what do you want to do? A dark brown?
not
bad.
Not bad.
So I think what I'm going to do is when I draw the line, I'm going to use this on top, and I'm still going to put this on top. I think for me it just needs to be softened.
So I went to Ariaba. My friend Linda owns the store, and actually the Body Politics store is inside of the same shopping complex. So I went to Ariaba because I needed some really rich looking costume jewelry. I don't know about you guys. While, you know, people always say, oh, yeah, OBU, and you have this, you have that. The reality of the matter is I'm an entrepreneur, and my money right now is primarily going to my business. So I am not liquid to go out and buy diamonds. So I went to Ariaba and I got really semi-precious, I don't like using the word costume jewelry, but for lack of a better word, costume jewelry. I got some of her handmade things. And honestly, I was so happy that I did that. I'm happy that I went and looked because I saw so many beautiful things. I found some earrings to perfectly match my popcorn bling case that I was going to wear for the final night. I found something for the Nikai and a few extra pieces just for myself. So you listen, if you are on a budget, you can check out places like Ariaba and other places that might sell semi-precious stones and stuff like that, because guess what? It's okay if you can't afford it. You don't have to break the bank to go and buy diamonds for an event, and I wasn't willing to do that. So shout out to Ariaba. All my jewelry, actually, almost all my jewelry, except for some of my ring accessories, came from there. And, you know, she gave me a really good deal on it, and I was really, really grateful. Yeah. The reality of the matter is, wigs always come last, because by the time you figure out what you're wearing, that's when you now choose what's on your head. So what I did on the last day before I did a fitting, I got my hairstylist to meet me at the studio.
So you guys, I've called in the dream team right now, reinforcements. Vero knows how to fit my wig to perfection. Taiwo, we always have our inspo. And Swagu, Lucky. Lucky's actually my stylist, like since I moved to Nigeria. It's just that Lucky's too expensive to employ. Basically.
And we went into our changing room and we were able to go through all the wigs. It took a couple hours, and I just perfected and styled each wig. So that way I don't have to depend on a hair stylist, and I can make sure that I get the look that I want. It was a tedious process, but it was really worth it. And we actually made some last minute changes, because we were able to look at the clothes, look at the hair, and look at the accessories and decide what, worked out best. So the hair process was the last thing, and I'm really happy with all my looks. So we went to Legend Hotel in Ikeja. That's where our plane was taking off from, and we just kind of hung out. I actually even did a little bit of a photo shoot at the hotel, which was a vibe. And then one of my nails had broken, and I was able to call my nail guy, God bless his heart, to come and meet me at the hotel. And while I was going through last minute work with some of my media team members, he was able to sit down and just kind of work on my nails as I was going. Shout out to Sukomi, my nail guy. So we ended up leaving at a really awkward time. We had a red-eye flight. Our flight was at like 1 o'clock in the morning because the Italian airport in Milpanza, Milan, did not open until like 5 a.m. So we had to schedule the time to make sure that when we landed, the airport would be open. When we got to Milan, honestly, we had done so much back and forth as far as visas for the flight crew and making sure everybody was vaccinated or not vaccinated, and making sure we got in safely. And God was so in control. It was so smooth. They didn't even ask for our COVID test. We literally just got our passport stamped, and as soon as we got out, we had Sophia and Imad's we had Sophia and Imad's concierge service, Sophia and Imad, thank you for your concierge service. They literally solved every problem so we could make it for the event. And it was very there, and we got in the car. We were in the car for like 40 minutes before we got to LakeComo. When we arrived at the hotel, we saw everybody briefly. I saw the bride and the groom, and then I went to go and get unpacked. Unpacking was a bit of a process because I realized that, in order for me to enjoy myself, I can't live out of a suitcase. So I took my time to unpack. I arranged my clothes, I arranged my accessories, everything, so that as I was getting ready, it would make life so much easier. So day one, we just had one event. It was the welcome reception that was at the hotel, right outside actually of my hotel room. So let me describe what I was wearing. On my head, I had a Rona Wigs slime green candy collection bob. It was a frontal. It's about 12 inches, and I cut so many layers in that hair. It was beautiful. To accessorize, I actually had a costume jewelry piece that I used for my wedding 8 years ago, and it was made by Ariaba. Once again, that's actually a coincidence because I've been a Ariaba customer for over 10 years, and it was this white kind of plastic flower looking thing. It was so beautiful. It came with matching earrings and a necklace, and so it was like a bracelet style. For my clothes, I actually wore Ejiro Amos Tafiri, and it's one of her loose jumpsuits. I actually have a few colors of that. Then I got this kind of snake skin looking. It was kind of grayish and white, kind of color, and I borrowed that bag from my friend Mo Mizzle. Woo, woo. It's amazing. And what made it so nice, it was kind of like sequency, you know, green to go with my hair, green and white, representing Niger. Woo, woo. It was very sequency, so it just made it look very stylish. So thirdly, I was bloated. Let's not lie. Do you understand? So as he loose, I like him. Let me just cool down for the first day. And for my feet, I wore some flat silver mules. They were flats, and it was from a high street store in the UK called Dune. So, you know, everything I wore was pretty affordable. It was beautiful, and, you know, it's definitely still available. So that's what I wore for day one. So the first event was amazing. It was outside, and even though it was really hot in LakeComo when we got there, by the evening it actually turned and became very windy. They had lots of really cute accents. For example, you're able to write a little note to them that they can read in a couple of years as advice. Okay, so you guys have given my piece of advice. Forgive. All right, there we go. All right, you can pour sand into something, wishing them well. Do some sand too? Yeah. Awesome. All right, you guys, I'm going to pray for them. Hello, gorgeousness. Whoa. Well, this is just day one, girl. I'm scared. We're matching. Yes, girl. One step closer. Every day waiting for. Darling, don't be afraid. You know, this is where we met the parents, and, you know, just kind of reconnected with everyone who had come for the wedding. Another special thing that I thought was interesting, they didn't serve any alcohol at all, because the bride's parents are Muslim. So I thought that was really respectful, and I guess because I'm not really an alcohol person, it didn't affect me, but it was great. The food, food was everywhere. So they have always traditional Indian food, as well as a lot of traditional homemade, like Italian, European stuff. So lots of breads, cheese, and pasta. You guys, food never finished. There was so much food, and trust me, I ate a lot. On day two, we had two events. So in the morning, we had something called a Mehindi. And Mehindi is basically a celebration of the bride kind of getting ready for the wedding, and she would actually have the opportunity to do like henna on her hands and stuff like that. And even we as the guests, we could also do henna on our hands and stuff. You want to put some? Yes, I'm gonna put some after you're done. So beautiful. Wow, you guys, can you see him? And there was even these men, I don't even know what they call it too, but the thing looked like gele. Do you understand that? A lot of the things that the guys wore. And so you could actually come, pick your material, and have your head wrapped. And so I made sure I captured that. YouTube, sorry. It's too late. But you know what, so I saw you in... I know. So this is gele for guys. But this is a very colorful event. You're supposed to wear bright colors, and thank God I even texted Soph like a day before I came, because I wasn't sure what to wear. So I ended up going with a fire engine red candy collection bob from Rona Wigs, obviously, and it was worn like as a side part. And then I wore something from Wura Woman. The dress was from Wura Woman. It was a beautiful dress. And if you know Wura Woman, she likes florals. She likes bright colors. And when I bought that dress, I didn't know what I was going to wear it for, but I knew I was going to wear it for something. And I'm so grateful that I did. Wura Woman was amazing. And it was so beautiful, so bright and colorful. But it was a bit see-through. So I definitely wore some leggings underneath. For the shoes, I wore from this online store called ego.co.uk. Also, for my accessories, I have this really beautiful Hermes ostrich skin croquette. I think that's what they call it. It's called it's like a little Kelly clutch. So it was like a blue mini Kelly croquette clutch. Yes. And that was the bag that I wore. The food was so good at this event. They had fresh handmade pasta. There was even one 90-year-old lady there that, there's a way I guess she did do hand. It was crazy. It was so cool. They had sandwiches. They had both vegetarian and meat. They had a pizza oven. They had ice cream and waffles. There was so many things there. Another thing that I really liked about that event was the tradition that they did between the bride and the groom. There was this thing where, they were hitting, the bride's sisters was hitting the groom as he was looking for the ring that he gave her inside of the rice. It was something different. The same way we have our own alaga. They had their own thing. And trust me, I was in there trying to capture as much stuff to show you guys. They had these two men with these big drums that came out. And so they had different sects. So they called daddy's friends. What you call mommy's friends. Do you understand? All this. They now call their own friends. Me, I didn't even know I was doing the most though. That's how the music just came. I didn't even know when the Holy Spirit just entered. I just went back to my room. Was filming, I just felt sorry for the guy. He was just like, but when I finished, they were like, you're wonderful, and I was like, thanks. Just the normal day. I danced. We have the Sangeet. This is a musical celebration between the bride's family and the groom's family, and they come together and they perform almost like Bollywood style. It was amazing. But the theme was glitz and glam, and your girl had to show out. So let's start from the top. I started off by rocking our Rona wig, highlighted wig, and we colored it like a chocolate brown. I wore it as a center part. It was very full, very voluptuous, and I was so excited about it. For jewelry, I wore my Ariaba bling. It was my canary yellow semi-precious necklace, and it was matching earrings with the, bracelet, everything. And then I wore a Balenciaga oversized gold ring. Now my clutch just went perfectly. I borrowed it from my friend Mo Mizzle, and I'm sure it's from, I don't know which store it was because I saw inside, but it was like a high street store, but it was so nice, a multicolored clutch that just was a nice pop of color. And then I wore a jumpsuit straight off the runway. Thank you, Remy, the versatile shopper, got it for me a long time ago, actually. I was supposed to wear it as a second look for my brother's wedding, but I was not able to come in for a fitting. It was a whole thing. So it was such a beautiful, exquisite jumpsuit from Brandon Maxwell. People actually thought it was a dress. And then I wore Nicholas Kirkwood platforms, and I actually got that from the versatile shopper as well. Thank you, Remy. And that was my look, basically, from head to toe. And the reason the shoes went perfectly was the Nicholas Kirkwood shoes is because they were really high platform, and my jumpsuit was really, really long, so it just worked out perfectly. In fact, I probably will say this was one of my favorite looks of the whole event. People really gave me, so many compliments, and I really thought it was so cute. He was so cute with it. So cute with it. At the Sangeet, I really enjoyed the Sangeet food because they changed it up a bit. There was a bit more street food. They had homemade shawarmas, lots of salads, lots of different options. And the reality is traveling really does expand your horizons. I tried lots of new things that I probably never would have tried. It was delicious. They even now had a dessert bar inside. There was so much food everywhere, and there was, we never had to worry about being hungry. day 3 now. This is our final day. I feel like I've been here for like 100 years at this point because, you know, doing all this hair glitz and glam yourself it was really not so easy. So in the morning was the actual event, the wedding, the Nikai. As you know, for those of you who are Muslim, the Nikai ceremony is the joining of the two, the bride and the groom, and they had a imam come, and their imam came from New York. And honestly, I've only been to a few Nikais. This Nikai blessed me. Honestly, he blessed me with his words. He blessed me with his understanding of the nature of God. He blessed me with the understanding of marriage. On the first night, they asked us to write a note to the couple, and I just said, forgive. If you know that about anything, marriage is about forgiveness, and that is what the imam talked about as well. It was such a beautiful ceremony.
And so remember always what brought you here today, and let forgiveness be a part of the regular conversation. And one of the best ways to say I love you is to say I'm sorry.
It was hot as hell, but it was a beautiful ceremony, and I'm just grateful to have witnessed such a beautiful union between Sophia and Imad. So day 3 was the Nikai ceremony, and I just wanted to represent Naija fully. So on my hair, I had my Rona wigs blunt top bob. It was in kind of like a silver ashy gray. Then I wore my yellow turban from Turban Tempest, and then I had a bling boo-boo from Body Politics. And I wanted something bright, vibrant that was going to stand out, but I also wanted to be comfortable. I wore some kitten heels from Dune. It's a high street store in the UK. You can actually find Dune in Dubai, actually, because that's when I bought it. So I just wore some gold kitten heels that just went perfectly. I matched my clutch it was a YS, no, it wasn't YSR, it was a Bottega gold clutch. Shout out to Nicola, thank you for borrowing me the clutch, and the whole look went perfectly. For my jewelry, I once again went with Ariaba, and she had this like gold and pearls mixed combination. So I stacked my arms with Ariaba, and I put some nice earrings on, and they were also from Ariaba. And when I tell you, everything just went perfectly. Everyone was thinking I was trying to upstage the bride, but I wasn't. It was so cute. Once again, face beat by me. I did a decent job. I was okay with it, and it was just really beautiful.
100% right.
Isn't it extraordinary how people leave?
So we have day 3, and this is now the reception, because after we did the Nikai, we had a lunch reception, we ate lunch, and then we now I actually left early because I just needed a little bit of a break before getting started for the evening event. So now it's our final evening event, and it's black tie. That's what they said. So I decided to go with a body wave center part bob. Body wave center part bob from Rona Wigs. This is something that I don't normally go with, but the dress was so exquisite, and I really wanted to show the back off, that I just decided that it's better for me to wear something short so the back could be shown. Initially, I was going to go with my long ginger hair, but I'm so happy I went with this option instead. So I wore this beautiful long mustard golden yellow dress. And guys, I am so ashamed to say, I don't know where I bought it from, sincerely. I'm one of those people that buy lots of random things at different websites on Instagram. I definitely found the vendor through Instagram. But I don't think they're an Instagram vendor, if that makes any sense. But I can't remember. If I do, between now and when this comes out, I'll put it right there. But I can't remember the name of the brand, but all I just know, it was exquisite. And when I first came in, I saw this huge stage. I didn't know what it was about, but I didn't know what was going to happen. We just came in and it was like a garden. I mean, you guys will see the video. It was so beautiful and it just made me like be jealous. I won't lie, like I want to get married all over again, but I was so happy for her. We tasted all kinds of different foods and it was great. The food was, it was so beautiful. You know, they had European food on one side, they had Chinese food on one side, they had Indian food. We now had the pasta and then the desserts as well. And it was one of those things you can go up as many times as you want. There was so much food, it was so delicious. And what I loved about it, it was just the atmosphere. It was so positive. Everyone looked beautiful. The bride looked gorgeous. You know, the environment, it was like a fairy tale. So then we now went out to the back garden on the last event, and I just saw this stage, and I said, what are they going to do for this? You know, what could they possibly have planned? So that's how I just saw on the screen, Burna Boy. And I said, I'll be Burna Boy's DJs here. I'll be a DJ that knows Burna Boy. I mean, I was confused. I was just looking around, hey, what's going on? That's how when Burna Boy came out, as the only Nigerian there, I had to run. I was the first one at the stage, like, what? I couldn't even just believe it. Do you understand that Burna Boy, what are the chances of a Nigerian artist being booked in LakeComo at the wedding that I was at? It was such a great performance. You know, him being there was just amazing. And it's so cute. Sophia and Imad came up to me afterwards and they were like, Sharon, we were just really happy for you. Because he was a Nigerian and all that. And you know, later on after the event, he actually came and he met everybody. You know, his mom was so sweet. They were not like, oh my God, we know. The mom was like, oh, how's David? How's everyone doing? You know, and I just thought that it was really kind of them. You know, just think of me as another Nigerian and coming out of their way to greet me. We even danced together small. It was fun, Sha. It was a complete vibe. But let me tell you something. I got some backlash for saying Indian people know how to out-party Nigerians. I will beat my chest. Do you understand? And I will say it again. Indian people out-party Nigerian people. I've said it for the people in the back, and you guys come and experience it and suffer what I suffered as per tiredness, and then let's argue about it later. Argue with your phone, okay? Argue with your phone. Don't forget to like though. Don't forget to like though. So, you know, after Burna Boy left, the party still continued. That's how Sophia and Ahmad just started giving them some serious dance moves, one serious routine here, one serious routine there. I was just like, bro, nice one. So, you know, they really hosted us well, entertained us well, and we didn't even leave there till like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was so good. We had such a good time, and you know, it was such a blessing. Thank you, Sophia and Imad, for including me. I really had such an experience that I would never have had I not had come. Thank you so much. So you guys have seen what it took for me to get myself looking like a baddie for these events. I just had such a great time putting this stuff together. It was a lot of hard work, actually, and I'm actually even tired talking about it, to be honest. But thank you, Sophia and Imad, for hosting me. Thank you for considering me, thinking about me. God bless you. I am honored, and I really pray that we continue to have many, many more celebrations together. We're going to be meeting up soon, so I'm so excited about that. So if you've enjoyed watching this episode, to find out about my LakeComo trip, my looks, how I got ready, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We really, really appreciate your feedback. We appreciate your support. And please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. That's Life of Rona 01. You can also follow my clothing line, Body Politics _ and Rona Wigs 2.0, because that's where I got some of my clothes from, and that's where I got some of my hair from. So anyway, you guys, take care, God bless, and we'll see you next time.